Okay, you guys. So I've decided that I would make a video of a rant of Edward Cullen. Now, my friend made a rant about Nicolas Cage. I can understand. I mean, Nicolas Cage, he's creepy, he's bald, he's a terrible actor. Well, this isn't about him, so, if you want to go hear a rant about Nicolas Cage, go watch it. It's pretty tight. But anyway, back to the subject. Edward Cullen. Edward Cullen. Now, the name is cool, but the character, not so much. Well, he's pale. And when I mean pale, I mean he's like super pale. I mean like he's like paper white. And it's not the attractive kind of paper white. I mean, he's not attractive at all. He's ugly. But yet all these girls like, oh, he's so hot. I'm like, ew. But, I mean, seriously. And his character depth, I mean, it's like, what character depth? I mean, he doesn't have any. I mean, why create a character that has no depth at all? I mean, he's pretty one-dimensional. And his protectiveness of Bella, it's kind of creepy. I mean, would you want someone that protective of you? I mean, you couldn't go see your friends, you couldn't go hang out. I mean, it's kind of like an obsessive, weird relationship. And he's kind of abusive, Like, mentally, he's like, you can't live without me. And, I mean, girls don't need guys. I mean, they can survive on their own. I know. I'm a girl. But, really, if that wasn't bad enough, I mean, he's just creepy. I mean, he watches her while she sleeps. He comes into her window at night, uninvited, stands at the base of her bed, and watches her sleep. Now, most girls are like, that's romantic. Would you want somebody coming in the middle of your night and watching you sleep? I mean, that's kind of the definition of a stalker there. And, I don't really think that they would want a stalker, because stalkers are creepy. Like Edward Cullen. You see the connection there. And he sparkles in the sunlight. He sparkles. I mean, he glitters. Now, when you read the book, you think of it as more of a glow. Like an angelic glow, but, he sparkles. Like diamonds. And it makes him look like his face is rotting away. It's weird. And it's ugly. Hey, I didn't make the movie. If I would have, it'd been a lot cooler. But Edward Cullen in its own, I mean, it's just shallow, actually. Shallow and one-dimensional. Now, I don't think he's the worst character in the Twilight series, though. No, we'll have to leave that to Bella Swan. Bella Swan. Bella Swan. She's very clumsy. Now, I'm clumsy. If you know me, you know I'm clumsy. I mean, I cut myself with knives. I mean, I've got a thing on my finger right now because I've cut myself and I fell up the steps. I mean, I'm clumsy. But I'm not that clumsy, and I don't think anyone in this natural world is clumsy like that. It's a bit pathetic. Now, she's a Mary Sue. I mean, everyone likes her. Everyone wants to follow her around. When she gets to the Forks High School, all the guys want to date her. Wow, I wouldn't see anyone wanting to date that. No. I mean, in the movie, she looks like she's high all the time. In the Twilight movie, not the new Moon movie. No, I think she kind of sobered out for that one, but, I mean, seriously. High. The entire movie. What are you gonna do there? And when she gets bit in Twilight, like, by James on her arm, she looks like she's having sex. Having an orgasm there. Not counting that dream that she had of Edward in, like, the middle of the movie. Seriously. Sex dream. It was kind of weird. Kind of gross. It age you want to go ooh, because no one wants to see that. But yeah, she's about she's more, I think, one-dimensional than Edward is. That's pretty bad. I mean, they're kind of side by side and one-dimensional, and I have no idea what Stephanie Meyer was thinking when she created this series. Honestly, I think it was just like a series where she was like, oh, well, I'm going to put myself with a perfect boyfriend, kind of like fanfiction, with less plot. I mean, I should know, I read and write fanfiction. That's pathetic. Even for fanfiction standards. I mean, seriously. But Edward is just, ugh, he's just nasty. Ugh. And, Bella, well, Edward is like 110 years old, and he's dead. His heart doesn't beat, he doesn't need to breathe, he doesn't need to eat, he's dead. Okay, they have sex, right? In, like, Breaking Dawn or something? Honestly, don't know. Wouldn't that be considered necrophiliac? Necrophilia? That's a bit weird. I mean, ugh, it's just gross. Ugh. And I mean, how would she even get pregnant? I mean, he's dead. He has no semen. He's dead. There's none there. It is physically impossible for them to have a child. And what do they call it, a renesmee? Oh my goodness. What the heck, man? I would never, ever make a kid have a stupid name like that. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Renesmee. Yeah. And I know I've kind of gotten off the Edward subject, but I have to say this. Jacob imprinting on Renesmee when she's still a baby? Pedophilia. My dear children, pedophilia. Ew. Ew. And I have to say it again. Ew. That's gross. Very, very nasty. Ew. But back on Edward. The sparkling boy. I mean, the sparkling, it's weird. It kind of reminds me of a gay guy. I mean, seriously, if I were gay, I would be very offended. Because it's such an epic fail. I mean, seriously, my goodness. On the epic fail, on, like, levels, he'd be, like, level negative, like, infinite. He would be level negative infinite. There is no number big enough to acquire him and his epic fail. That's pretty big, because you know numbers that go on and on and on. So, I don't really have anything to say, except if you're thinking about reading the Twilight series or watching the movies, I highly, highly think that you shouldn't. I mean, I bought the movie, I bought all the books, I was a bit kind of a twitard for a while, but I have came to understanding that Twilight itself, Edward Cullen, Bella Swan, is a big pile of epic fail. So if you think you're gonna be cool and join the Twilight bandwagon, no. Repeat after me. No. I wouldn't if I were you. That's all I gotta say about that. Now, if you wanna if you wanna watch something cool, go watch the Anne Rice movies, like Interview with the Vampire and Queen of the Damned. That is a good movie. Lestat, one of the best vampires in vampire history. I mean, besides Dracula, I mean, Lestat is amazing. That's all I gotta say about that one. So, if you haven't watched the response that I'm giving for Alyssa's video, The Rant of Nicolas Cage, please watch it, because you know you hate Nicolas Cage too. That's all I gotta say about that. I will hope to see video responses from you guys. Adios.